There's not a lot of topics I agree with wargaming on. One of the biggest topics is Reforged right now. I don't agree with most of the decisions that they are choosing to make when it comes to the future of this game. We'll have to see if they listen to the player base or not. But there are certain times when I agree with what they have to say. And one of those times is the fact that players only grind vehicles that are usually of four nations: Britain, France, Germany, and Russia, and America. So five nations. Apart from those five nations, you almost never see other tanks being played. Look at this game, for example. We have one Chinese tank, okay, and then we have two Germans, an American, a British, Japanese, and another Russian. So only two of these tanks that have been listed are outside of the normal tree. And you look at our side, and it's the same thing. We have one Chinese, American, British, German, German, American, right? And that's what you see most of the time you play Blitz. Well, I could have shot that, but I was too busy looking at the lineup. But most of the time you play Blitz, it's the same old, same old. It's the same 4 to 5 nations, and the same players using those nations as well. And you ask yourself why. And I feel like it's a fairly obvious question to honestly be answered. It's simply because of the fact that players drive tanks which are more notable and already known, right? The Tiger 1 grinds to the E100. What a shocker that it is the most popular line basically in the game. And what we're going to do is we're going to aim it on this 4005, and because the 40... just really hoping we could hit that. Because the 4005 is so tall. Well, E100 missed that. That E100 also fired a heat shell into us, or tried to fire a heat shell into us. Oh, we got the concept over here. Okay. Well, with what exactly I see going on here, we're going to chill in this spot right here. And we're going to move up a teeny bit. Let's see if we can get some damage into the 100. I don't necessarily love this situation, but we're going to cross this, and there you go. Completely fine. Alright, let's move over here. Is the concept going to poke us? That is a completely different question. My RNG did not like me there. Alright, let's try again. Let's aim it on the concept. Ow, what? There's an invisible wall or something on this boat, because both of those shells were eaten by something that literally should not have existed. You guys watch that. Like, what is that? What is that, bro? Just what? Alright, let's aim it on the 100, and there you go. Nice 382. And we reload the clip because might as well. E100 backs up. So far, we've been doing pretty good. We're up to 1,300 damage, and we haven't bled a single hit point. That's exactly what you want, right? You don't ever want to bleed health. So if you can deal damage and not bleed anything in return, well, I mean, that's pretty solid. So let's move up here. We got the 100 still in the back, and now what I'm going to do, so I'm going to push to the rear of this concept, and we're going to load in a high explosive. There you go, 584. We do have the 4005, but I'm legit going to poke and ignore the 4005. I'll bleed 400 health to deal damage in return. We've blocked 2,700 damage at this point, which is kind of wild when you realize that, because we should not have blocked that much damage this game. So we got the 4005 right here. We're going to reload, and we're going to get an HE into the rear of the 4005 for a lot of damage. Then we reload one more time, and we get the clearing shell into that player. Now we back up. E100, for some reason, is going to YOLO me. Cool, I guess. Yep, another bounce. Wow. Oh, great. Oh, wow. I like how this game goes from being completely fine and normal to me getting YOLO'd by the entire enemy team in, like, 1 second. That's pretty funny when you actually realize what just happened here. So we're going to aim it on you, get the clear, and now we're going to angle set the Hovry. Doesn't at least have an easy shell on me. And if I get shot by this concept, it's going to be really bad for me. So I'm hoping that our concept 1B does something and gets that enemy concept cleared. And while that's going on, I'm praying that this Hori does not end up slamming shell right into my roof and killing me. And there you go. Okay, we got the second shell out. So at least at this point, we are fine. Hori does pen me again, but that's fine. I just need to reload here. We should win this anyway. This player's getting absolutely cooked at this point. We just have to reload a teeny bit longer and get out of the game. I don't know what the heck just, like, we witnessed there. The enemy team went from bouncing me every single shot to all YOLOing me full speed ahead. The U100, for some reason, went for me instead of the one-shot concept. The enemy one-shot concept decided to start getting away with poking me, and then the Hori just popped out of nowhere. But we're fine. We're alive. The only spot we actually got penned, funny enough, is the hatch. But let's get back to the main point at hand here, right? I'm in the VZ55, and this is one of the best tier 10 heavies in the game. In fact, if you were to ask me what is like the best overall heavy right now, I probably would put this up there in like the top 3 up next to the Super Conk and AMX M4. And you can see why. We blocked 3,800 this game, we did 5,075 damage, that wasn't even an ace, and we easily did top on the team. And that's kind of your run-of-the-mill VZ game. I mean, that game was not run-of-the-mill. Well, I don't know. The NA server, it's not uncommon to get YOLO'd, ever. But, you get my point, right? That was a super easy game, a super easy farm, and it showcases the VZ being a great vehicle. The Object 752 is one of the most popular tier 9s in the game, and if you compare the stats and the overall capabilities the 752 has to the VZ, there's not much difference between the two. Both feature 2-shot, 4-second interclip vehicles. Both have solid DPM. Both have decent mobility. Both have good gun depression and turret armor. And nobody grinds this tank, even though it's such a good vehicle. And it's because of the fact that nobody goes for the Czech Nation. They say, oh, I don't want to grind the VZ. I'd rather go for an IS-7. I'd rather go for a Yo. I'd rather go for this. I'd rather go for that. And I'm like, why, though? Why? Why do we ignore these incredible lines? And it's exactly what Wargaming said. It's because they're nation-based. It's because they say, oh, I don't want to grind this obscure nation that I've never heard of when I can just go for an American tank or a Russian tank. How would Czechoslovakia build a vehicle that's as good as, you know, Germany? It's exactly what the situation is. And it's why you don't see people grinding these tanks. So I don't fully disagree with Wargaming's thought process on, okay, well then let's make it so that the game isn't as nation-based, and it's more set-based. I have no complaints there in that thought process, because at the end of the day, I don't really think they're wrong in the ideology that they have there. So we're going to back up. I do have support. If this Yo tries to push out, he's not going to, like... Well, never mind. Our team's just absolutely awful. Like, I'm just watching them die. The IS-4 is 200 health, and he's YOLOing. Now, the good news is that we are still fine, right? We can get a shell into the Type. Type hits me for 480, but, like, guess what? Well, actually, I'm going to aim it on the Yo, because I think the Yo's a bigger threat. Left him on 1 health, but that's fine. The Yo is now a one-shot... Okay. How long, make your bets, how long will it take our team to kill a one-shot Type? Oh, you got him. You got him. This will be a loss, 100%. Our whole team is just... I have no words for our team. That's really the best way to describe it. I have no words. Our team is just amazing. We have already lost medium flank. Oh, man. Oof. Sometimes when you play Blitz, you just lose your brain cells, and this is definitely one of those moments there. HE from the E4 doesn't really do anything to me, at least. Is the 140 going to keep crossing? Indeed. There you go. Another nice shot. Oh, and the Leopard's camping back there, too. Well, at least we got 2 shells out. And we're doing fine. Let's just reload. That Leopard's probably going to go back to camping in that bush, but unfortunately, there's not much I can really do about that. Yeah, I'm spotted. There really isn't much I can do to counter that. Apart from maybe blind fire the bush. There's one. And let's try a second blind shot. Just because we can. Let's reload. But we definitely got spotted from that Leopard, because who else would have detected me? Yeah. Oh well. Yeah, Leopard shoots my Yo. I just, like, sometimes when you play Blitz and you experience what is the Blitz teams, you have this thing called brain rot. That is exactly what we experienced here. I'm going to track that 268, and I was hoping we could get that second shell out. I like how scared the enemy is of me, even though I'm literally the only player left. Like, they're all... Look at this. This 268's too scared to poke me. It's kind of funny when you think of it like that. Like, what are we scared of? What are we actually scared of? He thinks he thinks I have another shell. Well, you know what, 268? I'm going to stare at you, because I'm not going to do any more damage anyway. So I'm going to just stare at you and make sure you can't get any more damage. Oh, we got a bounce. Alright, well, let's just keep chilling here. And now that I... can possibly get one more shell out, I will. There you go, not bad. And you know what, am I going to be able to get another? Wow, I am. That's surprising. That 268, biggest wimp I've ever seen. Well, another great example of the VZ55. I mean, I told you right from the start, our team was terrible. They all YOLO'd, they all died. It was literally like just... It was a firing line. That's what that game was. It was a firing line. What an absolutely incredible team we were gifted with there. Wow. Truly remarkable, bro. Wow. Well, point being, the VZ55 is an absolutely incredible tank. and two 5,000 games back to back. It's just a vehicle which pumps out damage, has great armor, and solid mobility. What else do you need? Well, the problem, as I said, is that nobody looks on this whole set of vehicles here and says, wow, I want to grind this tank. That's the problem. So I think this is an incredible vehicle. I think it's one of the best tier 10s. And if you're watching today's video and you're one of those players that sets in that stereotype of I must grind the 5 nations that are most popular to get the best tanks, it's not how it works, right? Wargaming balances tanks off of their own individual capabilities and uniqueness, not off of, ooh, America must have the strongest tanks because they have the best army right now. That's just doesn't make sense. Either way, let me know what you guys think in the comments, and if you'd like to see more content like this, please consider smashing that subscribe button down below. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.